Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. Looking forward to spending a little bit of time with you. Where I can, I'm trying to have an extra little catch up. Might not be able to do it every week because, you know, life happens and it's been a bit hectic here with one thing and another, few family issues going on. But I know they happen in all families. But I'm aware that quite a few have got in touch and said that you are on your own and you do appreciate a bit of time. So where I can, I will try and pop in and just spend some time with you. You know, a bit like a friend or a neighbour popping round saying, come on, I've got 5 minutes, can we have a coffee and a chat? Just so you're not on your own all day. So that's the idea anyway. And today I'm going to come in and create this lovely little design here. Now, next week it's Valentine's and quite a few have asked for Valentine's cards, but also I'm aware not everybody makes them. So I thought if I put a spin on it, it's a card that could be used as a I love you card, as even an anniversary card, if you needed a golden wedding anniversary card, or a birthday card for a friend who keeps bees. You know, you can put a twist on it, and I've not gone for the normal pink. I've gone for a lovely orangey yellow colour. So again, we're sort of on that theme, but putting a bit of a twist on it. And as always, I've decorated the back and the envelope, just so it's that lovely cohesive design. And what I'm thinking is, don't tell him that this is going to be for Carl for next week. Got a nice Valentine's evening planned. So hopefully that's the plan anyway. But you know what plans are like. So this is a 6x6 square card and envelope. As you know, I buy mine ready-made, and it's a size I quite like. And I know some of you like your oblong cards, but again, this could go, you could do it as a tall slimline, you could make it into an oblong. You know, you can create the design as you wish. So I'm going to put that here. So mine, I'm going to start. So this is a 5.5 inch square multifarious card. And I've already drawn my black. So again, I just take a Sharpie pen, piece of card underneath, and drag it along. I tend to do a batch of these. A few of you have asked, and what I tend to do is, because I know I'm going to be using this size, I cut myself quite a few. I use the A4 and get 2, and then my strip of card for my DL cards. And literally at the end of the evening, or sometimes at the beginning of the day, you know, when I'm just not quite in the mood for crafting, but I need to do something, it just helps almost warm me up. And I'm going to come in with the sticker stencil. Now, mine's white. Mine's one of the original ones. So they're all see-through now. But I must admit, I'm not sure if these, I'm sure the new ones are see-through. But as I say, mine, I mean, look at the back of this. Now, you can wash them, but I'm leaving mine till it absolutely necessarily needs it. And all you do is warm soapy water. Don't scrub at it, because you can see where the adhesive is here. Oh, look, sorry, you didn't see that, did you? Belongs to Eric. Where the adhesive is, if you scrub it off, you'll scrub the adhesive off. If you just soak it, warm soapy water, a bit of a, you know, one of the liquids that you use that might be a Lavinia fairy in it, swish it about a bit, clear water, give it a rinse and leave it that way to dry, and it'll come back good as new. But as I say, I'm leaving mine till I absolutely have to. But this, you know, you could do, if you don't want to do the heart, as I say, I'm going on a Valentine's theme, but there are lots of the other shapes. Just choose a shape and go with it. I mean, so many shapes would work so well. So I'm just sticking it down again. De-tack it if it's the first time you've used it. Right, Sahara. And I'm going to come in first with a smaller brush, just because if I just do the stencil work, it won't have a nice outline. So for me, I want to add the outline. So number 3, but really work it well, because you just want to almost get a nice faint outline. But mine's quite a new ink pad, as you can imagine, because I use this colour a lot. I needed a new ink pad because I did go through my other one fairly quickly. So I might have enough ink to go all the way around. And I just want to almost create a bit of shape before I add my stencil work. Try and keep it even and a bit more at the base. We can bring that colour just, yeah, happy with that. So then I'm going to bring in this lovely Honeycomb stencil. And when you're positioning it, I know it's easy to just throw it down, but a little tip I just want to have at the base here where my eye'll come, look, if I pop one in the middle and then follow it up and make sure it goes, can you see that? Make sure it goes all the way up. I think that will look better, and it's worth spending a couple of minutes because it will look better in the end run. Now, larger brush. And again, I'm starting from the out and coming in and just leaving an area in the middle. It's just that bit lighter. So if you use most of your ink up on the outside, by the time you get to the middle, it'll be lighter anyway. And we can have a look. Oh, actually, I'm just going to add a tiny bit more. So again, blend it in the lid. And I'm just going to come at the outside, and it'll help almost give the heart shape, basically through no effort. And if you're worried that that edge was a bit hard, a bit solid colour, it's good to blend it in by bringing in that darker colour, but I'm not going into the middle this time. Look at that. So what I've done is I've just gone dark around the edge and left that area so it's fainter. If I bring it a bit closer, can you see? And that just helps, makes it look more 3D. And it works well with all the sticker stencils. So what we're going to do, first of all, we've got this here. So let's clean it. We'll give Eric a spritz. I've put about 5 lots of water on there. Now, I have no idea which way around it was, but we'll put it on there. Eric, my black Labrador, obviously as always, sat next to me with his head under my desk, and being a Labrador, he loves water, so he's just had a good spritz. Now, while that's working, we can take this off, and if you're worried about taking it off, the best tip I can give you is I peel one corner, look, and if you peel that, don't use a heat tool because you might melt this. So peel the corner, and then this will come off easier. Pop it on your mat, and again, give it a good spritz, and I'm just going to use a damp cloth and then my inky binky. Just make sure I dry underneath. And then that will go back on here, ready for next time. And then that's given this time to work. Now, if you're doing a journal, you could pop this in your journal, but you don't want to waste that ink that's on there. Lift that up and look at that. And interestingly, you can't tell it was a heart, but look at that. Now, you see, that's fabulous for me. I'm thinking for Bumble and Hum, which we're going to use on this, but it would give me another background ready if I want another card. And I've purposely done a larger piece of card so I could blend around the edge, I could cut it into 2, could cut it into strips. And those days where Mr. Mojo goes, that's the sort of thing that's a starting point. I mean, I'm thinking on that one, on my final one, look, I've put my sentiment at the base, love you to the moon and back. On that one, look, what about putting Bumble and Hum and putting the sentiment between them, slightly angling it? Just a thought. So we'll give this a dry. And again, remember, both sides, front and back. Right. So we're going to stamp Bumble and Hum, and we're going to stamp them in black. And I've also got this one of the mini, and this is called the Single Heart Mini. And again, I tend not to do a lot of sort of wedding, romance, heart cards. So for me, it sounds awful, but if you don't want to spend a lot of money investing in stamps that are going to be useful for that, the mini is useful to get because you can use it for lots of things and it won't break the bank. So that's just in my opinion. Oh, and that reminds me, my nails. Thank you very much for those of you that have commented on my hands and nails. These are my own, totally my own, no false nails here. If they break, you will see we'll go down to a stump. Right, just while we're stamping, half on, half off. And I just put gel, nail varnish, nail polish, whatever I've got in, I put on. and I tend to do it on a Sunday evening and do my recordings on a Monday and Tuesday. But this is the thing, I love gardening. And when I take Eric out in the garden, I'm a bit of a tinker now. If you're into gardening like me, you'll probably do like I do. Now we just want to stamp these while we've got them, while we're catching up on scraps. And I make sure I literally do use my scraps up. Now, when I go in the garden with Eric, or even sometimes just for a coffee, I can't help but Carl always laughs. I have to do a bit of deadheading and fidgeting, and I can't wear gardening gloves. I've got fabulous friends that have bought me gardening gloves. No, can't wear them. I have to get my hands in the soil. But then I have before now gone out in the garden, done a bit, come back in, ready to have a catch up with you, looked, and even when you wash your hands, you know, it can chip your nails, it can, but I'm afraid even with that, I still can't wear my gloves. So if you ever do see, I think we've actually got a little chip there, look. But, hey ho. Where I can, I try and paint them up beautifully for you. So I am chuffed that some of you have noticed and said, so it's worth it. But I'd love to have the time to be one of these lovely posh ladies that goes and sits and has them done. But I just don't know if I could sit still for, even 10 minutes. I'm a bit of a tinker. Right, so there's Bumble Hum, look. And they're ready to be coloured. Because again, just decoupage in them is perfect. And that way we can leave the antennae, we can leave the feet, because we've stamped them. So we've got the original design on here. And I'm just going to add that lovely little heart. And I'm just going to put this here in the middle. The design, there was just something missing. Oh, and a little tip on the back, and I've got a little bit of card here I can show you. It looks lovely. And this, you can stamp it twice, but just use first and second generation, and you don't have to mask off, look. It looks like the second one is behind because you've used second generation and it's lighter. And I think that's lovely. Now, I'm actually thinking, I reckon you could do a wreath with the little heart all the way around. Right, so to colour these, I'll just colour one. I've already got a couple cut out. So these are my Aquarelle Mondeluz. You know, I can't say it, colouring pencils. And I've gone for 3, 5 and 15. And it's a very quick. I'll tell you what, we'll colour this one because it's on its own. Right, I just put a little bit of blue on the wing and round the eye. And this is my Great Cheats Way. The orange, I couldn't decide, in all honesty. When I looked up the lovely bumblebees, and I couldn't decide, some were quite yellow, some were quite orange, so I've gone for a mixture. And again, darker at the bottom just to add a bit of shape. Wink of colouring, the clear. So first of all, we'll go in the blue and just blend that. I found if I just did the wings clear, they almost look too clear. And then quick clean of the nib, and then into the orange and yellow, and just blend them over the black. Bit of blending. Again, just clean. See, that was quite yellow. Just clean it on the spare card. There we go. And that's ready to cut out. And so quick and easy. Again, you could stamp yourself a few, you know. Get some scrap card, because I know you've got some. I've just found a big box full. And just stamp a few and then just spend a little bit of time cutting them out. Or get a friend round for coffee, and while you're making the coffee, ask your friend to cut them out. So onto here, we'll add a little bit of colour on the wings, just because on the final one, look, the wings are raised. So we want a little bit of colour underneath. Now, I'm adding a little bit of blue, and don't worry, with the wink of Stella, it will activate that ink underneath, and it will go a bit of an orangey colour. But do you know what? I don't mind that, because it's underneath and it'll almost look like it's shadow, which is why it's a little bit darker than the original wing. And again, I'm just going to clean that on the back there. And then I'm actually going to leave this one, because I've got that one for Carl, I'm going to leave it without a sentiment, because I think this will be an ideal one for me to have in just for as an emergency card. So you've got room there to stamp your sentiment. But what I am going to do is, I'm just looking for my white jelly roll. I'm just going to add a bit of dimension on that heart. And if I bring Bumble and Hum in, look, I've just added some little, and it's just those little finishing touches make all the difference. Now, you know me, a bit of yellow sparkle Posca, and again, just direct it around, holding it close, but told it to behave. So there we go, look, we can miss the heart and we can miss Bumble and Hum. Just practice. In fact, we can move this out of the way, can't we? Probably help you see a bit better. And then I'm just going to use a bit of 3D gel. You can use your foam pads if you want. And I'm just going to pop. What I tend to do, this is just a pokey tool, but I use it for my gel. I take a little bit of the glue gel so that that bit will be flat, and I leave a lump there. And just angle it slightly so the wing will stay proud, so that that bit will be flat, look, but then the wing, when it dries, will stay. And that way, look, we can still see all those lovely furry bits around, but you've not had to cut them out. I mean, you can cut it out quite square, and I find the wings quite useful to hold it as well. I have all these things, but they're only to make my life easier. So again, a blob there, and we'll just take a little bit for the glue on here to glue that flat, but we'll leave that blob there. So when it dries, it'll keep the wing. Now again, this is a great card to give. If you're posting it, possibly put the wings a little bit flatter. And you've got that wiggle time to just get. And then again, 3D glue, make sure you pop it up, look, so it's at the top. And then lid on. And that'll be ready for next time. And we'll give that a dry. And then there we have it. And I just think that's a lovely little design. It won't take you long to make. It might be you want to put maybe the dragonflies on. Maybe you're making it for somebody maybe who loves, what's the word? Dragons. I couldn't, you know, considering I said dragonfly, why couldn't I think of the word dragons? Do you know, I don't know if it's me, but recently I just can't think of some words, and it's so frustrating. Now I'm hoping you're going to tell me it's not just me, that it happens to us all. You know, that thing where you go into a room and you think, why did I come in here? So please do let me know it's not just me. I mean, I know I'm odd, but... So, there's the design. And as I say, that's just the starting point. You could take it, but when it's on the card, look, and I love this white space, and I just think it looks so classy because of that white space. Now, it might be you want to do smaller hearts going up here, or you could do some little dots from one to the other to the heart. Again, so many possibilities. You could even put the heart hanging, look. Or if you haven't got the single heart, what about the fairy charms? 2 of those have got hearts on, so you could actually put the heart hanging in the middle there. Like I say, so many possibilities. I mean, I don't know about you, but my head just wanders from one to another. So I do hope you have a go at this. Even if you don't need a Valentine's card, I'm sure you could make it with a different shape. I mean, there's the circles, the square, the arch. I'm leaving it with you. A little bit of homework for you, because I know some of you like a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of homework. You know, something to get that crafty mojo going. So I'm off now. I think I might just have a sneaky coffee before I have to walk Eric. So you take care. As always, it's lovely to spend time with you, and I do appreciate your comments. I don't always get time to answer, but if you get a thumbs up and a heart, means I like your comment, and where I can, I will answer. But, you know, life ends up so hectic, doesn't it? I thought you're supposed to have more time as you got older. Well, that's certainly not happening, is it? So, love and hugs from me. Have a lovely weekend. I've got an online workshop tomorrow with my ladies. Looking forward to it. Again, another couple of hours spent just playing. You know, I'm so lucky. Coffee, cake, and playing. What can I say? So you take care, and I shall see you again next week. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.